Hey folks, Bill Armstrong here. Welcome to Math1650 College Algebra Online. And this quick video is going to give you a look around our course website here at Pearson's MyMathLab. A few things I'd like to point out. Uh, here at the home page. My home page may look different than your home page because I'm in instructor mode. But in any event, over here on the left, these tabs has important information. First off, you need to go to course information, and you need to, click on course information. And there are some documents here you need to print out and look over. The first one is an online orientation, and the description is the document that I put together here is a general document. It gives general information about the online course. Protocol for sending email. Please adhere to it when sending me an email. It's kind of important. The course syllabus, again, print this document out, the online orientation, and have it handy at all times. Print out the protocol for sending email and have it handy at all times. Please print out the course syllabus and have it handy at all times. Notice in the course syllabus, it contains a password needed for quiz 1 only. So you'll definitely need to read the syllabus. Just want to look around the syllabus real quickly. Look at a couple of items in the syllabus. First off, my name is Bill Armstrong. There's the email address. If you ever need to see me, you can come visit me anytime in my office. My office is in B3051. These are my office hours. So you don't need to ask, if you can come by. Just come by anytime during my office hours. Also, please note the Lakeland Blackboard site will not be used for this course. Everything that we need for the course is here at the Pearson MyMathLab site. Should have a graphing calculator. Grades, I'll let you read this on your own, but in short, we have 3 tests, and you can see the sections that the tests will be going over. Test notes, tests are taken at the Lakeland Testing Center, and deadline dates are shown in the academic calendar, which I'll look at that here in a minute. Please try to take your test in a pencil only. Also note there will be no notes, text, formula cards, cheat sheets, etc. allowed during tests. So just wanted to point that out. You can go through online quizzes, total of 120 points for online quizzes. Notice that every online quiz will be due Sunday that it is assigned. If you start an online quiz, you must finish it in 1 session. You can take each quiz up to 3 times maximum. And there will be a final exam. So in short, your class has 3 tests at 120 points each, 12 quizzes at 10 points each, and the final exam 120 points. So that's 600 points total. And you see, this is how I will determine your final grade. And, that's some of the, I have like a 4-step cycle of learning procedure that I'd like to go over real quickly. And we'll look at some of these items here in a minute. But this is a pretty solid package that Pearson has with the e-text. So basically, you're going to look at a section in the e-text, and while reading the e-text, you're going to have links to helpful videos and animations by the author. Watch these animations and videos. It's going to help you do the homework problems. And periodically, as you're reading through a section, there will be a you try it practice problem. If you see a you try it practice problem, just try it at that time. That helps reinforce the concepts being presented. And then at the end of each section, there will be some homework problems. Here I call them practice exercises. And then all of that stuff prepares you for the online quizzes. And that in turn prepares you for the tests. So it's a pretty simple process to follow. So try to follow the process here. And you can see there's the password for quiz 1. But please print out the syllabus and have it readily available at all times. The other thing I'd like you to print out is the academic calendar. The academic calendar will have all the important dates on it, deadline dates, like, deadline to complete test 1, deadline to complete test 2. Also listed on here are the deadlines for the quizzes. You can see week 1, the sections that are covered. So, any given week, it shows you the sections that are covered and what the appropriate deadline will be. Please notice test 2. The deadline to complete test 2 is on a Friday. It's on Friday, March 6th. The reason for that is starting on that Saturday, the testing center will be closed because the following week is spring break. But you see, most tests have a deadline on Saturday, and then May 6th is the deadline to complete the final exam. So please print out the academic calendar so you're aware of the deadline dates. Also on the academic calendar, it shows you what sections each quiz is going over and what sections each test and the final exam will cover. I know this is redundant material that would be on the syllabus, but you print all these things out, you won't be surprised by anything. So that's the academic calendar. Here's a list of section by section homework problems I'd like you to try. So for example, in section 2.1, at the end of section 2.1, starts on e-text screen 2.1-19. I'd like you to try 1 through 13 odd, 17, 18, and 19. So I think this also would be another document that you should print out and have handy at all times. So from the course information page, I expect you to print out and have handy the online orientation, the protocol for sending email, the course syllabus, the academic calendar, and the list of your homework exercises. This is something you don't have to print out. In fact, you probably won't want to. It's many pages. But for all those homework problems that I have listed here, I have a PDF in here that will show you the answers. And, again, it's taken a while to load this document. I don't even know how many pages it is. Oh, it's 38 pages. But say it shows you, I just scrolled down a little bit. These are like typical answers you see in the back of a traditional textbook. So in section 3.4, it's the answers for every problem, not just the odds, but every single problem that could be assigned. So it's nice. You should kind of make a note that your answers are in the course information area. Okay, that's stuff you need to do immediately. Let's look at the announcements, because here's what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis. Every week, I'm going to have a weekly announcement. It's going to be posted on Sunday at 7 a.m. to tell you what's happening for the subsequent week. And let's just take a quick look at the week 1 announcements. So, you will open the week 1 announcements. And, week 1 starts off with a welcome. And I am reiterating those 5 items that I just showed you in the course information, what you should be printing. But here's what a typical weekly announcement will look like. So if it says week 1 announcement, what the dates are, I reiterate the sections that you should be reading in the e-text and viewing, the videos and animations, telling you to try the practice exercises. I list again what those exercises are. I know they're all contained in a document in the course information tab. But again, I have a lot of redundancy built in here. And then a quick reminder on the due dates. So I'm reminding you online quiz 1 is available in the online quizzes area. And reminding you again, you saw this in the syllabus, you can take each quiz 3 times. But once you start it, you have to complete it. And again, I have no time limits to complete each quiz. So if you start if you start quiz 1, you take 3 hours on your first attempt, you take 3 hours on your first attempt. But when you start that first attempt, you have to finish it. So, if you started, say, on Friday, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you have to finish that first attempt once you start it. You could do attempt 2 on Saturday and then attempt 3 on Sunday. And then, here's a little reminder on when the due date is for, online quiz 1. So, when you log on at the beginning of the week, you should always come over here to the Announcements tab and click on the current week, what the weekly announcements are. So there's your weekly announcements. Going to come back to the e-text, but let's look at this real quick. Online quizzes. This is where you'll find all your online quizzes, and here they all are, all ready for you to go. Again, there's a reminder on when the due dates are, and here are the quizzes. I'm not going to open one up, but there they are. So this is where you find your online quizzes. So when you're ready to take an online quiz, you click on this tab, click on the quiz that you need to take, and have at it. Now you're not going to see this stuff here because it's not available to you, but I already have open for you the Test 1 Preparation tab. And I will make available to you for each test and the final exam, as you can see here. It's like a review for the test. So the first thing would be a study guide, and it's a PDF that kind of gives an overview for test 1, and I will indicate what practice problems, these are like homework problems you should have already attempted. I will indicate which ones for you to really focus on. I will also make available a practice test, and I will usually, for most of the items on the practice test, have answers. And then I will also have solutions for the practice test. And that's for most of the items on the practice test. So if you do the practice test, and let's say, number 3, you get, you look at the answer that's provided, you have it correct, you might not need to look at the solution on how to do it. But the solutions will be me actually, I make a YouTube video, and I work out and show you how to do the problems. One thing I'd like to point out, when you go to my YouTube videos, make sure that you're watching them in full screen mode, and put your settings in high definition. Give you the best viewing experience. Let's come back to the e-text. All right, here we are. Let's finally take a look at the e-text. So we'll click on Read the e-text, and I'll click and open it. It takes a little bit of time to open the the full e-text. There we are, just waiting. And then you'll notice over here in the left-hand frame, it has chapter by chapter. And, I'll just start off chapter 1, because that's what we're doing here at the beginning of the course. By the way, chapter 1, most of these items should be review, which is why there are so many sections we're covering in the first 2 weeks, because most of it should be a review. But let me go ahead and just click on section 1.1, linear equations, and it shows you what, some things you should know. Notice up here in this box, that shows you the current page you're on, section 1.1. You're on page 1, that's the -1. And this is, how I go through and change pages. Some people like it on the 2-page view. I'm kind of old, I just do the 1-page view. But you see, this is kind of like a typical text. You read, there are things that are highlighted, definition. Here's an interactive video. So let's look at an interactive video so you can see how that differs from a traditional video, and I'll show you that in a minute. But if we look at an interactive video, it's going to ask you some questions that you can answer as you read along.
Which of the following is not a linear equation? Click on the equation which you think is not a linear equation.
Okay, so you can click on the one you think is not a linear equation, And I know this is a linear equation, but let's click on that. That will be wrong to see what the animation does.
This equation actually is a linear equation. Notice that our variable x has a power of 1. Therefore, our equation is linear. Now, every linear equation can be written in the form ax plus b is equal to 0, where a is non-zero. In this case, our a is 2/3,
Okay,
and
I'm
our
going to stop
b...
that and go back, because that was a that was an example showing you, hey, you selected incorrectly, and it reviews with you what the deal is. So let's click this one.
Very good. This equation is not a linear equation. Now remember, every linear equation
It's
can
going to
be
go
written
through a
in the
same
form
type of explanation, but I just wanted to show you quickly the interactive videos. It opens in another smaller window, so let me close that. So that's what an interactive video is. Let me kind of move on here. All right, I'm just reading. Look, here's an example. Like a traditional text, that's an example. It tells you to check your answer. Oh, that's all great stuff. And just kind of reading along. Here's another example to solve. And check your answer. And, here's a here's a you try it problem. Work through this you try it problem. So you just did a couple of examples. Here's a you try it exercise. Remember I mentioned that in my cycle of learning. So if you click on that, it's going to open up another window, and an actual problem will appear similar to those two examples to help you reinforce the concept that you've just learned. So it says, solve this equation. So on paper, you'd have to write the equation down and solve it. Select the correct choice below, and if necessary, fill in the answer box to complete your choice. I have not solved this one. So I'm just going to make up a number here. Let me type in 2. And then I can come down here to check the answer. And it says, man, I missed that. Okay, I'm done. If I'm really stuck, I can come over here and click on Help Me Solve This. And it will run me through the steps of, well, let's do the distributive property first, and then let's combine like terms. So it'll go through the process very similar to what you just saw in the previous two examples. Or you could click on View an Example, and it would show you another example. That's why I really kind of like these you try it's. But let me close that. And let me move on, because I want to try to find just an actual video for you. And it looks like here's an actual video. This would be a video that's going to show you how to solve this equation. So you have an option. You can just read and see how to solve the equation, or you could watch a video, and it will be the exact same example, but kind of what you would experience in the classroom with the professor actually talking.
In this video, we're going to learn how to solve linear
That's the
equations
author of the book.
involving fractions. Here we have a linear equation. We know that it's linear because our variables all have a power of 1, and they all appear in the numerators. Now, to solve a linear equation involving fractions, the first thing that you have to do is find the lowest common denominator, or the LCD. Now, in this case, the lowest common denominator...
Okay, I'm just going to stop it there because I wanted to give you a little flavor on what these embedded videos look like. Now, that's different than the interactive video. Regular videos are more instructive. Interactive videos require you to interact with it. And look, here is another you try it. And I think I've kind of hit the high points of what you will find in the e-text. So if I just keep scrolling through this section, I will eventually get to here example 7. I wanted to get to one of these. I'm glad I found it. Example 7 just says, hey, solve this equation. And this is a video you'd have to watch and work through this. You'd have to watch the video to see the solution, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's like being in the classroom. And here we've reached the exercises, exercises that I have indicated, hey, this is what you should do to practice to get ready for the online quizzes, which then prepares you for your tests. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of the e-text and come back to the course homepage. And that should cover everything. I don't need to see that. That should cover everything that, quick overview of the Pearson product, the MyMathLab, a wonderful product for online courses. So again, announcements. Check that. I put new announcements up every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. for the following week. So that's the first thing you should always check. Course information. Please go to the course information and please print out and have handy the 5 documents that I have already gone over with you. E-text, well, we just looked at that. Online quizzes, that's where you find your quizzes. And then, later on, you always find my Test 1 preparation tab. And then I'll open up these other preparation tabs when we get closer to those tests. It would always be indicated in the weekly announcement when a test preparation tab has been opened. Here's the grade book. That's what you would click on to check out what your current grade is. And that's pretty much it. Again, if you ever have any questions, any particular questions about any of the material, do not ever hesitate to send me an email. Follow my protocol for sending email, or stop by my office. That's why I'm here. Hope this has been beneficial. Good luck with the course, and thanks for watching.